My name's Andy Leach, owner of Cal Automotive Creations, and this is Ted and Colleen's 1930 Ford Model A Coupe. We named the car Afterthought. It was kind of a joke towards the end of the build that everything was always an afterthought on it. The project really started a few years ago. Ted had H&H build the flathead with the ardent heads on it. The motor was it was the first one that they did. It went to SEMA. All the shows, everybody probably saw it. It was a big polished motor and stuff. So really we built the car around the motor. Ted kind of gave us free rein on the design of it. I had this car in my head a long time ago, and it all started around these headers. I wanted to build these cast looking finned headers, and actually I saw a set in the Speedway Motors Museum probably about 10 years ago. And I always knew that given the right chance and the right customer, I wanted to build a car around a set of headers that looked cast and something that you haven't seen before other than some rare vintage racing piece. So that's really where the car started. Ted bought the car. It was a one-owner car out of California. So we made new doors from scratch, new quarters from scratch with the wheel openings raised up to fit the one-off tires that Coker did for us. There's been a lot of work done to the roof. It started life as a 32 5-window roof, and then we reshaped it on the power hammer to make it fit the Model A. On the tops of the windows here, a ton of work that probably goes unnoticed, but if you look at a Model A, these lines here are really kind of flat. They don't follow the contour of the roof, so we reshaped all the tops of all that. We machined drip rails, drew them up in SolidWorks and machined drip rails for the simple fact of you can never paint a drip rail. So this one bolts on afterwards, that way we can paint on the backside and whatnot. You always wanted to keep the rumble lid. That was something that Ted wanted for a simple, he can get gas in the car easy. So that was kind of the theory behind that. On the inside here, we really kind of went on uncharted territory here, but we wanted to do an interior that fit the car, but it was all this heavy cast looking with stamped rubber floor mat and stuff. So the entire inside of this car was drawn up in SolidWorks. It was all 3D modeled, the headliners, the door panels, cowl panels, everything. So we machined the entire floor, was all CNC machined, and everything has these fins on it, and that was kind of inspiration from the Chrysler turbine car that was done many years ago. Just something that we really felt it fit the theme of the car and with the ardent and all that. So we carried that through with the fins in the dash, the fins on the seat. We made all the seat. It's got a 57 ohms cluster. We started life as Classic Instruments, made the gauge on that. One of the things we're kind of always known for our shop is the bottom sides of the car. So being a traditional car, we had to keep that feel, but we came up with an idea of welding all these fins on the bells of the rear end, which was a ridiculous amount of time, but the look that it gets is just, it's unlike anything else. Again, it just carries that fin theme throughout the car, and if you look underneath, like the best way I can describe it, the floor, everything has this crown molding shape that borders the frame and the floor, and it's all gapped together. You know, nothing was left alone. You can see all the fasteners are all one-off fasteners. Each fastener on the entire car matches. And this is the little Model A we finished up for Detroit, nicknamed Afterthought. And we've had it on the West Coast. We've had it out east, here in Kentucky, and I leave Sunday, and we'll be in Reno, Nevada with it Tuesday night. So from Reno, we go to Bonneville. It'll be on the Salt for a photo shoot during Speed Week, and it'll be everywhere. We got SEMA and Shades of the Past, and lots of shows yet. So we've got probably 500 miles on it right now, and it was built to drive, and that's what'll happen.